made it. Whew. Every time they try to keep me out, I work harder to get in. Today, folks, we're making egg rolls. A very delicious dish. It's usually served as an appetizer. Around here, it's a meal. You can make them with pork, chicken, or steak. Today, we're making a spring roll, which is just a vegetable egg roll. And we're using things that we have around the house. Most people will go out and try to replicate the videos you see online with fresh everything. You don't have to. We have a few things left over here from other dishes that are prepackaged. We're going to use that. We're also going to use a wrap method that another person on the internet, Stephanie, has her own channel of everything she's trying to show you how her father made in the restaurant. The difference that she does that I want to try today is how they used a double wrap. I've always made mine a single wrap, wrapped it like a burrito. It comes out great. Her mother is going to show her how to do it with a double wrap. I'll put a link on here so you can see, but we're going to try that. We're going to try it both ways today. So remember, you can buy fresh, you can use what you have around the house. I have ingredients that don't usually go in that we're going to be putting in, and...
Hold it.
What is that? What?
I'm here, ChefKenDad.
Oh. Looks like Jimmy Kimmel did make it today. I got a message earlier he couldn't make it, but they must have just had a slow show or something and finished early. So he's here. He's back there. He's finally going to get on. Third time in a row. We're going to try to get him on, but he's here and he's waiting. So, egg rolls for the family. Let's get started. No matter what kind of egg roll you're making, whether it's a spring roll or you're going to put some sort of protein in it, a staple of it is cabbage. You can get a fresh head of cabbage and slice it up very thin, or you can do what I did. I just got a bag of it that's already sliced and chopped to save myself time. Now, I've never seen another recipe for egg rolls that has sugar snap peas, but I have one bag left over from a recipe from a couple days ago. We're going to give it a try. I have quite a few of these white onions left over, so we're going to use these. You can also use a large white onion. Carrots are another staple of an egg roll. Then we're going to be using celery. Now, personally, I do not like the taste of celery. In this case, though, it really offsets the flavor. We're going to put it in it. Most people like it. Some people don't. Everything we're going to be using today, we're going to be chopping very fine. Bean sprouts, you can buy them in a bag fresh. You can buy them in a can. Either way, bean sprouts are going to be the same no matter which one you use. And then the star of the show, egg roll wrappers. Don't even think about trying to make your own unless you really want to. This is the quickest and easiest way to do it. I don't believe any restaurants you go to are making their own. They're all buying them pre-made, pre-stacked, and pre-cooled. Last but not least, I'm going to be using 2 bananas. Fresh ground pepper is going to add a fantastic flavor. You can use any type you like. I'm using either pure black ground or the peppercorn grinder that has white peppercorns and black. Now we're also going to be using garlic. You can use whole garlic, the whole cloves, and crush them. They can be from a jar. They can be fresh. They can be pre-minced in something that a lot of people like to call garlic. This stuff is really good. If you use it, don't discard the liquid. It's a great flavor. And if you don't have either one of those two, just use your garlic powder. We need some salt for flavoring, and this is going to be freshly ground sea salt. However, I'm going to be using MSG. I say this all the time. MSG got a bad rap from a report that was put out in 1960 that was proven false, except it just seemed to stay with the public rumor mill that it was bad for you. Anything is bad for you in excess. MSG has great flavor and it cooks well. Now I had to turn the light off for this because the glare was too reflective. This is a delicious plum sauce that I made myself. I worked on it for 2 days. It's the best plum sauce you can ever get. Okay. Don't waste your time on that. Go to your local Chinese restaurant and tell them to sell you a quart of plum sauce. We got this from our local House of Hunan. It is everybody in my family's favorite egg roll dipping sauce. You can use anything you like. When it comes to dipping sauces, just like ketchup or mustard on a hamburger or a steak, yes, I did say steak, get what you like. This is your meal. This is what you want to eat. We love plum sauce from House of Hunan in Cadillac, Pontiac, Michigan. Oh, my daughter puts it on ice cream. We eat it on rice. We love this stuff. So, if you want to dip yours in soy sauce, dip it in soy sauce. Teriyaki, General Tso's, sweet and sour, it doesn't matter. This is your dish, and I can't stress this enough. Make it how you want it. If you like peanut butter on a quesadilla, put peanut butter on your quesadilla. If you like ketchup on your steak, put ketchup on your steak. It's all up to you. Oh, how did that get here? Let's flip that over. This is a cutting board I got for Christmas for my daughters from a company called Personalization Mall. They did a great job. All the words you just saw are carved into it. So when I cut, a lot of times the knife doesn't cut all the way through. So now I just use the back for cutting and the front for show. We're gonna start with celery. I'm only gonna cut off 2 to start with. Because like I said, I really don't like celery, but it adds to the flavor. Now the bottom part of the celery, the widest part where it's still a little bit white, we're just going to cut and get rid of that. This one was cut up high enough, it's good. We're going to cut this here just to get rid of that knuckle right there. That's still good to be cut. That one's done. Flip this around. We can see that the end has been exposed a little bit. We're going to cut that off too. And that's the celery we're going to cut up. Okay, what we want to do is slice these very thin because we're not going to be cooking them very long and we want them to be soft. That's all I want to put in mine. Now for carrots. You can do whatever you like, but I am going to leave the skin on. Whenever I've cooked carrots in the past, I've always left the skin on. I'm going to in this case as well. Now the carrots need to be cut first. We're just going to cut the tips off of all of them. Then we're going to cut the tops off. Now Mr. Green Jeans would have left all those on when giving them to Rabbit, but we're not. We're giving them to humans. And there they are. Instead of chopping these like we did with celery, we're going to sliver them. We're going to just strip them. Whatever word you want to use. You can use this if you like. And those are the slivers we're looking for. You can use this if you like, right here. This one I prefer. You can go both directions. You can very quickly get a carrot down. Remember, if you're not making a mess, you're not having any fun. And there we have it. I'm going to save all these big pieces, cut them up, and let my macaw have them, my bird. For an added measure, I just make a couple of cuts to bring some of the bigger pieces down. Now for our onions. How much you use is up to you. I have a family member that doesn't like onion, so I'm not going to use a lot, but I need some for that flavor. So this is all I'll be chopping up and putting in. Okay, now come our snow peas. I've never put them in before, not in an egg roll. So let's just chop up this small amount. And that should be good enough there. And lastly, our entire bag of pre-chopped cabbage. You will find the next step in the process to be a lot easier if you separate your wraps ahead of time. Unless, of course, they're already separated in the package. If you warm them up a little bit, they will separate a lot easier. Now, I said earlier we were going to try a new way of wrapping that I saw on another website, Stephanie T. Cooking. I'll put a link up. We're going to apparently cut these triangularly, and these will be the inner wrap for the outer wrap. Now, before we cook, we're going to spice. I'm going to take my MSG. I'm going to take a 4-finger pinch twice.
Wow!
I'm going to use my garlic powder in this case because I think more people are going to use that than the garlic cloves or the fresh garlic. So we're going to shake in about that much. I like a little bit of bite to mine. We're going to give it 3 or 4 or 5 or a couple of shakes of crushed red pepper. And now for our black and white peppercorn. Spices are always to your taste. How you like. We want to be able to taste the vegetables. That's the main ingredient in our spring roll, but we want to know that we've spiced it. And that's probably enough right there. Now I've had my bean sprouts draining for about 20 minutes. I want to make sure I don't get any of the moisture in there. Right on top. Spread it out. You can add 2 cans if you like. I think we have enough. Now when we cook off our stuffing for the egg roll, we're going to cook it in olive oil. We'll be deep frying it at the end in canola oil. Let's turn this on and get it hot. I'm going to go to the level of 8, and when it's hot, when my hand 8 inches above the pan tells me it's hot, I know it's ready to go. oil. That's what I teach everybody in my classes. While we're waiting, let me remind everybody, cast iron. I love cast iron for cooking almost every single thing, and Lodge. Lodge is what I use. It is the best cast iron I've found. It is the most evenly dispersed heat for cooking. It's durable, and I just find it works well for me. I say this every time. They don't pay me to say this, so you know it must be good. Okay, our oil is starting to splatter just a little bit. I want you to see, I've mixed it all together by hand. You can see that there's not any one thing that's too much. We're going to put the whole thing in. There's that sizzle that I love. Now we're not going to cook it more than 5 minutes or so. I like it to be turned from the bottom to the top. You can use whatever is easiest for you. We've got it all mixed in there. There should be oil everywhere. We're going to let it cook and keep browning it until it's nice and soft. Don't touch cast iron like I just did. It is very hot. Use one of these. For your cast iron skillets, get a handle cover. These covers will save you from branding yourself. Oh, that smells so good. You can smell the vegetables cooking. You can smell the spices fighting for attention. I think we got a good batch this time, boys. 4 minutes. 10, 1, 9, 2, 8, 3, 7, 4, 6, 5, and we're done. Turn it off. The heat in the pan will keep cooking this for a little while. We don't want it too soft. We want to have a bitey, crunchy type of egg roll, but we have to have it cooled down completely so we can touch it. We're going to let this sit, and what I tell everybody, all of my small humans to do now, is clean your kitchen. It's time to do that. That has to cool for about 15 minutes. It's time to clean everything up, put everything away you're not using. The only thing we'll need from this point on are the wraps and the oil to cook them in and your dipping sauce. Remember, I tell all of the small humans in my classes, if you have to clean up your own mess, you're probably not going to make as big of a mess. If somebody else is cleaning it, well, you're probably going to go crazy. So clean up your mess, let it cool, and I'll see you back here in 15 to 20 minutes. While it is cooling, if you move it around, the hot parts will come to the top and they will cool faster. Before we add our spices, remember, that's up to you how much you want. So we're going to blurble all of them. You're going to blurble how much pepper you want. You're going to blurble how much garlic you want. You're going to blurble whether you want white pepper, black pepper, MSG, salt. This is where it comes from the heart. Remember, blurble is whatever you think you need. Blurble comes from the heart. All right, it's been about 15 minutes here in Ken's Kitchen, open Monday through Sunday. 24/7. It gets its work out. Let's go check now and let's see if our stuffings for the egg rolls have cooled enough. Since we're going to be rolling them by hand, we have to be able to touch them. If your hands are clean, which they better be, it's ready to go. You want to let your mixture drain. So any oil that may still be in there, you want it out completely. You can leave it in. If you've been to Chinese restaurants, you know that sometimes they're oily inside. I like mine drier. So here's what I did. I took the stuffings and put them into a colander, and we're going to let it sit here for another 15 minutes. And we're going to see how much is in the bottom, how much oil, if it was even worth doing in this case. Okay, let's see now. That's how much more we drained out of it. Doesn't look like a lot, but it's drier, and that's what I was going for. All right, there's our bowl. Water and moisture out of the vegetables, and when they're softer, they mix together better. Okay, let's roll one up and see how it works out. And this is how I always did it in the past. I put a good healthy amount in there. I would fold up the sides, roll it over, tuck it in like a burrito, roll it again. And that's how I would roll my egg rolls. Now we'll do one Stephanie's mom's way. The square in so it's facing away from you. You want the other one on top like this. Still, they're pointing in the same direction. Get a generous amount on there. I'm hungry, so I'm putting a lot in this one. And then we take the two corners together and overlap them just a little bit, but keep them flat. See how it looks like an envelope pouch? Then lift the whole thing up. Pull in the sides, pull in the other side, and roll it tightly. way back when I was a kid in elementary school, grade school we called it. Pontiac Lake Elementary School in Waterford, Michigan. Yay, PLS Express. Back then, we didn't have actual paste to make construction paper projects. We just mixed flour and water and used it between the pieces of paper, and they would stick together when it dried. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to make a very thick water and flour paste and put it on the tips of the egg rolls to help keep them closed. This is just another blurble measurement. There is some flour. There is some flour and water. Always start with a little less water than you think you need. It's easier to just keep adding more water. And there we have it. Looks perfect. Let's just set that aside. Get our egg roll out we just rolled. Use your finger. Dab it in. Roll it. Set it aside. That will help keep it closed. Now, let's roll some more. These over here are going to be the ones that from Stephanie's video. Forget it. You can put shrimp in here as well. Last one. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8 the way Stephanie's mom's does. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 my way. Let's start some cooking and see how they turned out. So we have 16 altogether out of one batch. That's not going to last even one night here in this household. I'm going to make them again very soon, and I have to make a much bigger batch. I'll double everything and get 2 packs of wraps. Let's get our oil heating and start cooking our egg rolls. Now we want these to cook hot. You can put your hand here. This is the best thing I've ever taught any of my students. When it's hot here, like you know it is there, you're ready to go. Let's turn it on to high and we'll come back in a couple minutes. Should take about 3 minutes. I'm going to be using the same tongs that I used earlier. Make sure you wash them and dry them thoroughly. Water does not agree with hot oil at all. Here's the monster I made. I doubled one up. Let's see how this works out first. Just set it in. Looks like it's reacting nicely. We're going to let it sit on one side for about 30 seconds, then we're going to flip it over. I'm going to turn my heat down to 8. Now at 30 seconds, we're just going to flip it. Oh, that turned out nicely. Maybe we can go a little bit less. We could probably bring it down to 20 seconds. Let's see how this works out. We'll still go. There we are. Now, if you've watched my videos in the past, you know I hate putting things on paper towel because all it will be is a egg roll sitting on a paper towel that has soaked up the grease, but it's an egg roll sitting in a greasy paper towel. I like it to go directly onto a plate. You can see it's drying all the way around. We're going to try this out and make sure everything's good before we cook anymore. Back to the table. We're just going to cut off one end. Oh, that looks beautiful. Oh, it's kind of hot, actually. We're going to pour ourselves a little bit of sauce, our dipping plum sauce from House of Hunina. Let's dip it in and take a bite. Oh, that is delicious. We got to try another bite. Don't worry, this is my dipping sauce. I can double dip. It's hot, it's crunchy. Insides are crunchy still. Oh, the flavor is delicious. You're going to love this. Let's fry a few more for an example to show you how to do it. And then you're going to go eat. Okay, we know now that big one I made, the monster, turned out just delicious. It's just more for somebody to eat. We know that we make them twice as long and big around. They're still going to cook and be tasty. So now let's try one we rolled the way Stephanie's mom said, and one that we roll the way Chef KenDad rolls them. Stephanie's mom, ChefKenDad. Let's do 30 seconds again. Turn the heat down a little bit. So let's just do 30 seconds. It looks like they're deep enough. We definitely want to make sure it gets hot enough to cook the inside. We don't want to burn them. Flip it. Oh, that's a little too much. So we know that on the smaller ones, we don't cook them as long. So we'll go 20 seconds on this side. And we're going to turn our heat down quite a bit. We're going down to 4 now. There we go. There's mine and there's Stephanie's right there next to the sauce. And here we go. Mine and Stephanie's mom. And you can tell because there's a corner there. The first time we rolled hers. There's mine on the inside. There's Stephanie's. They look very good. They're the same thing. It's just how it was rolled. So we're going to dip Stephanie's in there. Take a bite. Stephanie's mom. Just as delicious. Just as crunchy. But there's more of a chew to it. You can tell there's more wrap to it. I think I kind of like that. Now mine. Same flavor. similar, same everything. I think I like mine better, and I'm not doing it because it's mine. I would never do that. I would be very honest with you. I like less of a wrap taste and more of the internal taste. If you like the wrapping, you want it a little thicker when you bite into it, then Stephanie's mom's way of doing it is definitely the way to go. So it's your preference again. Let's cook a few more off so you can see how to cook a few. We're going to turn our heat down to medium and still only go 30 seconds. You have to find it on your stove, what's works best for you. But this time we're going to do it on medium for 30 seconds per side. Now these are the last two that were double rolled, then we'll bake off all of the other ones. Now, the last few that were rolled my way. And there we have it. Here's Stephanie's, here's mine. The only difference in appearance you can tell is hers with your single point coming out, mine end in a flat line. Perfect egg rolls. I hope you like them. I hope your friends like them, your family likes them. They're very easy to make. Follow those steps, do it a couple times, it'll stay in your head, and you'll be able to blurble cook your own egg rolls. So, here we are at the end. I would like to ask everybody, please like and subscribe. It's the only way I grow. The only way is if you can like and subscribe. Tell your friends. If you don't have any friends, tell the people you know. Leave a comment so I can know what you think of it. What are you just standing there for? We could have had you on camera this whole time. You don't want to just wait for an invitation. I told you, come out when you're ready. Oh, there, he's gone. He's gone again. I don't know. Jimmy Kimmel just does not seem to want to get on this channel. Matt, can you go chase him down again?
Seriously?
I don't think he'll ever get another invite back, but...
Same as before?
Right, just like last night. You can keep the keys for the rental car. You can use the same hotel room. We keep paying for it, but it never gets used. And you want me to bring some egg rolls over? We can maybe watch the ads that were on the halftime Super Bowl?
Sincerely.
Sounds like a winner to me. Okay. All right, folks. That's it. I'm going to go eat. Go to my websites, chefkendad.info, chefkendad.com. I teach kids to cook on outschool.com. Go there. Use this code. ChefKenDad20, and you can get a free class up to $20. One of my classes, any class you want. Don't have to be me. You can do anything you want on OutSchool with that code. That's about it. I'm gonna go now. Have a great night. And there we have then the star of the show, an egg roll wrapper.